There's a write-up here asking SAN Falana some pertinent questions, saying, Falana, did you consider the graveness of the offense before tagging Governor Wike as high-handed? We cannot dismiss the crime because the punishment was too harsh, or can we? That hotel no doubt put the lives of hundreds of people at risk, not only those inside it at the time they were throwing their party, but also every single member of their family that they will go home to, and health workers on the front line. Several health workers, including doctors and nurses nationwide, are contracting the damn virus almost on a daily basis. For those now lampooning the Rivers State governor, let me ask you, if these health workers were members of your family, would you be talking like this? That hotel, do you know, has also created a scenario where the state public health infrastructure, which is hugely inadequate, to be stretched further than necessary by its careless actions. If one decides to remove the hypocrisy usually associated with us and look at the cost implication of their action alone, then I tell you, no punishment is too grave. Whether demolition or even execution, yes, I said it, execution. How can anyone wise enough to own an hotel not know that coronavirus has no cure? And has been killing people all over the world. There are nations and even states in the Nigerian Federation, including Lagos, that are considering the prosecution of those who intentionally put the lives of others at risk during this coronavirus pandemic. But my people are hauling investees at Governor H1GH for the demolition. For those intruders of the government of Rivers State, Femi Falana and Obi Ezekwesili inclusive, are they saying that careless engagement of on the side of the hotelier and undermining the peace and security of Rivers State should go without consequential sanction? That the consequence of the crime committed by the management of Prudence Motel and the other hasn't manifested does not negate the potential of its graveness. Otherwise, attempted murder shouldn't be a crime under our laws, whether premeditated or not. Wike was too high-handed. Wike should be sanctioned by the NBA. Bam. See them complaining about one man being judge and jury when they don't have all the facts, yet same men have practically declared sentence on the governor. Hypocrites. There is no need for me to point out that if even one of those at the hotel or the staff is infected, several lives may still be lost down the lane. In the next couple of days, to be precise. In fact, if Governor Wike knows what he is doing, everyone inside that hotel by now should be quarantined for at least 14 days and tested at least twice. An unnecessary burden to the already stretched medical infrastructure, and for effects, the owner of the hotel should be compelled to pay for whatever it will cost to do so. It is only in this country that our emotions take precedence every time matters like this are up for public discussion. What I say now, I will say even if the governor was my enemy and the hotelier my father. That people haven't died yet does not mean they won't see, God forbid, because of that madness carried out in that hotel. The first person to die is in the state was an hotelier just like this one. He infected at least 7 persons, most of them still in isolation, including the manager of his hotel. When people try to make the excuse of high-handedness on the side of the government between the crime and the gravity of punishment method, should I point out then that there are states in this very Nigeria where people are executed for merely looking at a woman the wrong way, and I haven't heard you say anything about it or call governors from those states same names you've called the governor of Rivers State in the last couple of days. Here we are trying to trivialize the gravity of the carelessness of the hotelier merely because we don't like Wike's guts. Another wow. We are all acting like we did not hear that the governor said publicly, in fact, warned on television, radio, and newspaper that he will demolish and any building where any action that flouts the lockdown executive order in the state. Whereas we all heard it, read it, kept silent until the man actually showed that he wasn't paying lip service about or to it, and he meant business as he's ready to walk his talk. But wait, are we not the same people that praise the Chinese government and even Jerry Rawlings of Ghana for executing corrupt politicians? Same people that blamed Wike last week when an hotelier entered his state despite lockdown and infected several people before he later died, are now condemning him for setting an example and showing it takes the business of protecting his people serious. So guys, a lot of people do not even like what a Wike do, what Wike did. That is just what has been going on back and forth. Everybody, almost 99%, oh, Wike did this, Wike did that. And the question, and before this time around, well, I'm entitled to my opinion, and the truth must be told, and that is the truth of your own matter. People are not even blaming the man or the hotelier. You are not blaming the hotelier. You heard this thing. This man said it several times. I even said it on this platform that now this man is bringing this order again. People are hearing. Don't say you did not hear, because I've been giving two example or two cases of what he did, and he stood his ground. At the end of the, people started calling him names. The issue of the helicopter company and ExxonMobil. We know that those people, even after they try to settle out everything out of court, but the people who were involved, who were captured that very day, they know what they suffered. They spent almost 3 or 4 or 5 days there before they were released, and they knew what they went through. So when this executive order was coming, and I was saying is, hey, they should just be careful. Wike has said he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and I'm sure because he could not even uh, get to the root of those two cases, because at the end of the day there was a kind of compromise, and okay, they settled that, of course, most especially that Exxon movie, but the other helicopter company, I can't really say much on that. So people should just listen. Simple instruction. They said no. They said no. And at the end of the day, he carried it out. Now they are now blaming him. Why would he, in the first place? Because when they say obey is better than, obey before complaining. Just do this thing for a very short time. Yet no, everybody want to test, you want to do this, you want to do that. Because if the hotel had not been opened, they're not born Wike well, they don't even born government well to just go and start demolishing people's businesses. And it's not going to happen. A lot of hotels or whatever, I'm sure they did not open that day. They didn't open, so there was no way they would have gone there, or they would have gone there to demolish it. Let us even face facts. We want things to be all right, but yet we don't want to follow through. It is both from both the people and the government themselves. Even the government, even the Wike himself, they are everybody is guilty of all of these things, because at some point they will compromise. At some point they will try to make example of some people. It's the same thing, because it is not uniform. Tomorrow they will compromise. So that is what we are talking about. If we don't stand on the right, in doing the right thing, we cannot get it. We want to be like people in the Western world. We want our country to be like a structure. Those who have structure, those places that we intend to go. We are eager. We have I don't even know. We just want to go there. But what they do there, the sacrifices, everything they do there, we don't want to pay the same thing, and we want things to be okay. If they had obeyed the order, simple, nothing will happen. All this drama wouldn't have been there in the first place, and it was not as if they didn't hear. And he said this is what is going to happen. And like very few people have been asking, why didn't challenge the order in the first place? Everybody kept quiet. They feel say, I beg, nothing they happen, forget her. Nothing go happen. Leave her, nothing go happen. And someone says here that, are you trying to justify lawlessness? The best thing that Wike would have done was to arrest the violators and charge them to court of law. And that was not it. He has already said this is what is going to happen, and he used executive order to do that. It is not that he would have done it. What he wanted to do was what he announced to them. He announced this thing to them, that this is what he will do if people flout it. He has already said what he wanted to do. The question is that why didn't the hotelier, why didn't he obey this thing? obey the executive order, because I've been hearing, oh, I didn't violate anything, I didn't do this and that. So they just went there and just, because they would still say it's still chanting. I didn't know it's the person is a from opposition party. Oh, it would have been okay, trying to win chance, trying to win chance. If we don't do the right thing, definitely we will not get it at the end of the day. Someone says hopeless and disjointed write-up. Is Wike a judge? Is Wike a lawmaker? Mr. Ignorance. Is Wike a prosecutor? Is Wike a jury? Is Wike duty to met? Is it a Wike's duty to met out punishment? Is Wike a destroyer? That's what somebody is asking here. What somebody is asking here. Another says here that okay, somebody is now replying that please carry your comments, enter toilet. If you get mind, waka anyhow for Port Harcourt, hand go touch you. Someone say please visit psychiatrist. Childish comments, baby comments. That's what they are saying. So people don't want the truth. You want the best, but you don't want to pay a sacrifice to get the best. It does not work that way. Some people can just come say, hey, what is this one talking about? If I were the hotelier, honestly, I would not open it, and they no bond the way they can't destroy my hotel or my property because I no flat order. They will not even come. They will not even dare it. No matter how difficult or how great that the executive order will be, because I will not flout it, and they no bond the way they come down. So if you go in for it and you saw what you again for, no matter, people are not saying you would have done this, you would have done it. Why didn't they say that, okay, you should have done this in your executive order? Everybody heard about it, not that he just put the order. You can't form ignorance that you didn't know or you didn't hear. So that is just the way it is. It's painful, but the man cost it. Some people are talking about, oh, a lot of people are now out of employment and all of that. If the man had thought everything through, all these problems it caused, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. But just like one senior advocate of Nigeria said, no, they can go to court and let's see how he's going to win the whole thing at the end of the day. There's no problem about it. If he's not satisfied, if he can go to court and deal with the government and deal with Wike himself, it's possible.